The weekend had arrived and we headed for the beach early that morning. After she was done, we could go on a date. The ninjas brought tools for us to use on site, but I needed to make sure one of the more important tools was on my person. Condom. I briefly murmured to myself while confirming the condom was in my pocket. I brought it with me just in case. If we decided to have sex in public and I came outside, then it would be a huge hassle to clean up. Whoops! Sorry. What's wrong? What was with Kureha? She kept looking over at me and fidgeting in place. She was wearing the outfit I'd bought her and looked unbelievably adorable. If there was anything else out of the ordinary, then it would have to be... Oh, now that I'm getting a good look at you, are you wearing lipstick? Also, your cheeks are redder than usual. Yeah, it looks so natural that I didn't even notice. It's pretty and makes you look even more mature than before. Oh, that's a cute smile. Maybe saying you have a pretty smile would have been better in this situation. I see. You're so pretty, Meow. Still, I'm impressed you bought makeup. Did you splurge for the day? Did you? Haha, sorry. Had she told me anything like that? Oh well, it really might just be that I forgot. Okay then, why don't we start cleaning? Kureha scanned her surroundings, then grabbed my arm and softly puckered her lips. Are you sure? Out here? Kureha. Although our lips barely touched, our kiss nurtured our feelings in an entirely different way from merely having sex. Kureha really was adorable. This was exactly why I could never be apart from her. When I was with Kureha, I was filled with warm feelings. The sky was blue and the breeze calm. A perfect day for the two of us to go on a stroll on the beach. But of course, we weren't the only ones with the same idea. Although it was still early, a huge mass of couples were walking along the beach with linked arms and kissing in the shade of the trees and so forth. Alright, we can't let them outdo us, so let's do it right here. Do you know what? It's alright, I made sure to bring a condom. Wah, don't get so mad. I'd rather do it somewhere quiet if we were going to too. That way, I'd get to have your adorable face all to myself. For real? Then in the bushes over there. You let that one blow up in your face like you do every other time. Oh, Meow, she had turned into a real pervert, huh? That side of her was cute though. Kureha seemed just as eager as I was, so we'd better wrap this up as soon as possible. When we are done, Kureha would be my little sex kitten.
しかし、本当にカップルが多いな。またくじ引きでもしてるのか？
Maybe they're doing something on the island over there. You can see the coral path now that the tide's out.
そういえば、丘の鐘を鳴らした後に孤島の木に絵馬をかけると幸せが約束されるなんて話があったな。
Yup, that's totally it. This is a special occasion, so we should do it too. I heard they sell those plaques at that booth over there.
おい、勝手に行くな。まったく、子供じゃあるまいし、そうはしゃぐんじゃない。で、なんて書く？
After buying the plaque and making our way up Lover's Hill, Kureha approached me with a sparkle in her eyes. Which of us was the kid here? But I see. A kid, huh? How about I wish to return as a group of 3?
3人？葵も一緒ということか？
Oh, true. Adding in Sukuna-san, let's make it 5.
それだと一人多くないか？
It's not. Me, you, Aoi, Sukuna-san, and our future baby makes 5.
バカ、何を言ってるんだ。そういうのはまだ早いって言っただろう。悔しいが、私たちはまだまだ未熟だ。こしきれていない大きな借りもある。そんな私が新しい命を授かってどうこうするなんて今は考えられない。
I get that, but this is for the future.
未来？
Yeah, I'm saying we should come back here with Aoi and Sukuna-san once we are blessed with a child someday. There's no telling when that will be. It could be next year, or could be a decade away. Either way, I absolutely intend to come back to this place with all of you someday. I suppose you could call this prayer plaque a promissory note for the future of sorts.
未来への約束手紙。
Or maybe that's a bad idea? I guess that sounded lame.
ダメじゃない。
Kureha quickly shook her head at the sound of my timid voice. She softly reached out, gripping my hand and the plaque.
ダメなものか。すごく嬉しい。
I see. Thank you. Afterward, we rang the bell and crossed the coral path hand in hand. There were dozens of other couples hanging the plaques, which contained their inscribed wishes on the boughs of the trees. Our wish, inscribed by Kureha herself, read, "We'll someday return as a group of 5. This doesn't really amount to a prayer, does it?
これでいいんだ。神頼みというのはあまり好きではない。見えない誰かに助けられても気持ち悪いだけだからな。それより私は自分自身を信じたい。未来の自分に願いを託したい。自ら動き実践していかなければ、より良い未来なんて訪れるはずがないんだからな。
That sounds like something you'd say. Aren't you forgetting a certain someone you can place your faith in, though?
一体誰のことだ？皆目見当がつかん。
Mini!
冗談だ。
Kureha leaned in close, lay her head against my shoulder, and smiled kindly.
ここはいい風が吹いてるな。気持ちいい。
Yeah, it sure does.
私は正直、結婚とか子供とか、そういうのはまだピンとこない。でも、お前との未来なら信じてもいい。だから、もしもその時が来たら、私をもらってくれるか？お前に、私のすべてをあげたい。私の未来を預けたい。
Kureha. Her eyes were as serious as could be. There were no signs of any shy outbursts like usual. She gazed straight at me with a powerful will. Of course, when the time comes, I'll bow my head to Sukuna-san and come to take you. If he refuses, I'll snatch you away like a phantom thief should, counting on you to help me see that through.
父さんは強いぞ。勝てるのか？
Of course I'll win. I'll show you the power of love.
愛の力か。寒すぎて鳥肌が立ちそうだ。
We can't have that, can we? I'd better warm you up then.
ほら、人前で抱きつくな。恥ずかしいだろ。
What's the harm? Just a little.
ダメだって。ほら、髪を撫でるにゃ。
Kureha, I love you. I love you so much.
圭介。
Kureha and I embraced where we stood and shared a passionate kiss. Our breathing became heavy and our tongues interlocked. I thought she would be against it at first, but Kureha was surprisingly enthusiastic. She pressed her lips against mine and pushed her flushed body against me.
圭介、暑い。体が熱いよ。私、なんだかとっても受精したい気分だ。
Gah. My Kureha-san was awfully pervy today. Had all this talk about having kids gotten her in the mood? She was opposed to doing it out in public, but I was too far gone at this point to even consider stopping. This was a special occasion, so maybe I'd go ahead and give her that child.
そこのバカップル、あなたたちは完全に包囲されている。直ちに投降しなさい。
Huh? Akari?
ケイスケ？あなたたちそんなところで何してるのよ。
ここは公共の場ですので、そういうエッチなのはいけないと思います。少しくらいいいではありませんか。減るものじゃありませんし。あ、でも下手したら増えちゃいますけどね。ゴムは忘れずに。
Ahaha. I turned around and faced Akari, Kana, and Senpai in their gym uniforms. Why in the world were they here? Oh, did you guys come to pick up trash too?
はい、忍者さんたちが清掃活動をするというので、遺跡管理委員会としてお手伝いに来たんです。
あなたたちもスクナさんに言われて手伝いに来たはずよね。なのにどうしてあんなことしてたのかしら。
Doing what exactly?
だからそのベロッチュ？やだ、変なこと言わせないでよ。
Ahaha, you're adorable when you get embarrassed, Akari. Hmm? At that moment, Kureha suddenly clung to my arm and glared at Akari and the others with puffed up cheeks.
ケイスケのバカ。バカバカバカ。先輩たちばっか見ちゃやだ。もっとこっち向いてくれなきゃやだ。クレハちゃんたらやきもちさんですか？かわいい。そうだ。だからお前たちはこっちに来るな。シッシッ。あらあら。
Kureha tugged on my arm and clicked her tongue at them. I was happy she got jealous over me, but wasn't this a little much?
ケイスケ、違うところ行こう。早くキスの続きしたい。
また人前でイチャついて。ここはそういう場所じゃないのよ。少しは自重しなさい。
言われなくても分かってる。誰がお前たちの前でするか。ケイスケは私のなんだ。誰にも渡さない。私の
Kureha? Kureha's breathing suddenly became labored, and she dropped to her knees. I rushed over, grabbed her shoulders, and shook her. Hey, are you okay? Are you sick?
あれ、おかしいな。ケイスケ君、ちょっとよろしいですか？
It was a habit of Senpai's, but she gently leaned forward and rested her forehead against Kureha's to check her temperature.
なんだ、顔を近づけるな。この唇はお前にはやらないぞ。私はケイスケのものなんだ。それは残念ですが、それだけ言えるなら大丈夫みたいですね。先輩、もしかして。いえ、まだ結論付けるのは早いと思います。ですよね。
What are you talking about?
クレハちゃんにお子さんができたかどうかのお話です。突然ニャンニャン言い出すんだ。今のでわかるはずないだろ。ないよな。さあ、それはどうでしょうか。
Kureha gave Kana a pleading glance, but Kana looked bothered by her inquiry and looked away. Oh boy, I guess Kana and the others had it rough when it came to playing along with Senpai's games.
どうやら軽い立ちくらみのようですが、大事をとって今日はもう帰られた方がよろしいかと思います。もしもまた熱が上がるようでしたら、こちらの病院に私の名前を出せば無料で見てくれますから。
Senpai replied and handed me, not Kureha, a piece of paper with a map on it.
では私たちはこれで。
Sure, sorry for all the trouble. I waved and watched the three of them make their departure. All the while, Kureha clung to me and followed them with her eyes. Almost like a starving kitten keeping on guard so its food wouldn't be stolen. After helping out with beach cleanup, we decided to head home for a bit. Even if she had mild symptoms, it didn't change the fact that she was feeling unwell and should follow Senpai's suggestion to rest. We'll be at my place soon. Let's take a break there for the time being.
入っても平気なのか。
You are just going to lie down for a bit, so it'll be fine as long as we are quiet.
そうだな。
Your face is red. Are you alright?
平気だ。
Your complexion looks anything but fine.
それは別の意味で平気じゃないというか。
Kureha replied as she fidgeted in place and hugged my arm tightly against her chest. Her fiery hot, faintly supple boobs pressed up against my arm.
ケイスケ、静かなところならしてくれるんだろ。だからしよう。
Huh? Do you mean?
今日はたくさん甘えたい。元気な猫さんになりたい。だから一緒に子作りの練習しよう。
Well, I'll see you in a second.
ベッドがすごいことになってる。
After wiping ourselves down and taking a breather, we were drawn back to reality. Not only was the bed covered in semen, we'd completely forgotten to keep our voices down midway through. It was fine as long as it didn't cause problems later, but
どうして今日あんなに乱れてしまったんだ。
I mean, it is mating season.
だから私は猫か。
Coo meow, lick lick.
バカ、急に抱きつくな。そんなことされたら、にゃん。
You feel really warm. Maybe you haven't gotten enough yet?
バカ、そんなわけないだろ。さすがにもう疲れた。だから、このまま何もせず、ぎょっとしてろ。私のそばから離れないでくれ。こうしてお前に抱きしめられるとすごく安心する。
Simple enough, a request. I'd lost track of how many times we'd done so, but I hugged Kureha and shared yet another kiss. This isn't Kureha. This person has blue hair. Is this Aoi? Kureha's breathing became more ragged with each kiss. Looks like things were getting hot and heavy all over again. Oni-chan? Kureha? Kureha and I tilted our heads to the side in confusion. Where was that voice coming from then? This voice. It was coming from the closet. Worse, I recognized this voice. It was... I'll see you in a second. The first thing to come out of my mouth upon seeing Aoi's vulgar state was a sigh. I had been together with Aoi ever since her birth. I'd peeked into her room and witnessed her getting busy, and it turning into an awkward affair a number of times. I knew she was as lewd a person as I was, so the fact she was masturbating didn't shock me at this point. But then, I did question her using me and Kureha as fapping material. Aoi slid out of the closet and fidgeted in place. For the time being, I handed her a tissue and turned away. Calm down now. Why don't you start by cleaning up? Sorry, Kureha, but could you go buy us some drinks? Hey, Kureha. Nobody asked for anything like that. Anyway, go out and buy drinks for us. We need to have a family meeting. Kureha ignored Aoi's comment and snuck out the window without making eye contact. Seeing your best friend in the throes of passion must have been incredibly awkward for these two. There was no avoiding it being difficult to face each other now. You better now? Aoi's thighs were still fidgeting, but she appeared to be much calmer now. Then she turned to face me. Or she tried to anyway. Aoi's face flushed bright red and she hung her head. Aoi was a girl, so it came as no surprise that she was still embarrassed. However, I couldn't afford to be bashful. As her brother, I had to give her a stern talking to and hear her out. I'm sure she doesn't. There's nothing wrong about a young woman doing something as common as masturbating. In fact, I'm sure Kureha's the one who feels most anxious since her best friend saw her having sex with her brother. It's a pretty intense difference from her normal self, huh? She always turned into a horny, needy kitten at night. That's enough about us. What we should be focusing on here is you. Anyway, you're at that age, and I'm sure there are times when you don't know what to do about your sexual urges. There's no helping what's already done. However, I disapprove of you peeping on us having sex. If you'd spoken up, we'd have gone somewhere else.
そうだよね。反省してます。
Why were you even in my room in the first place? Did you need something?
用事というか日課かな。お兄ちゃんがクーちゃんのお部屋で寝泊まりするようになってから毎日この部屋に遊びに来てたの。お兄ちゃんは一応ここで暮らしてることになってるから部屋が無人だと怪しまれるだろうと思って。
I guess you've got a point. No one ever said anything to me, so it kinda slipped my mind.
まったくそんなことだろうと思った。少しは感謝してよね。クーちゃんと毎日イチャイチャできるのは私のおかげなんだから。
You're a real lifesaver. I'll treat you to a parfait at the tea kettle sometime.
そんな安いものじゃ私は納得しないよ。もっと高いのじゃなきゃ。
Got it. I'll throw in a blueberry tart, your favorite.
だったら許してあげる。
You're so cheap, Aoi-tan. I can't believe my little sister was this pathetic. Wait, how did we get on this topic again? I was supposed to giving her a lecture. I understand why you came over, as it was out of consideration for me.
そうしたら急にお兄ちゃんたちが入ってきて慌てて押し入れに隠れたの。
Why were you hiding? It's not like you had anything to feel guilty for. Or maybe masturbating really was your aim.
違うよ。でもどうしても押し入れの中から出られない事情があって。
Were you really going at it that hard?
だから違うってば。エッチの最中もずっと我慢してたもん。したくなっちゃったのはお兄ちゃんがエッチな声で喘ぎ始めたところからで。
Huh?
なんでもない。とにかく私が外に出られなかった理由はこれなの。
With that said, Aoi retrieved a doll from the closet. This was a doll, right? The face was still pretty homely, and I could see frayed threads here and there, so this was surely a work in progress.
この前からクーちゃんにお裁縫を習っててね。その成果を見せたくてこのお人形を作ってたの。
Oh, was this why you've been sneaking around behind our backs?
出来栄えもあれだし今見せると恥ずかしいから秘密にしておきたくて、ここでなら誰にも見つからないと思って道具を持ち込んだんだけど、まさか今日に限って鉢合わせるなんて。
That was bad luck. Still, what sort of doll are you making?
見てわからない？
Is it Vaisravana or something? What's that?
そんなもの作って私は何がしたいの？そうだよね。私センスないもんね。見ただけじゃわからないよね。
Sorry. So, what in the world is this?
これはお兄ちゃんだよ。
Hey, apologize to me. I don't have a defective gorilla-looking face like this.
お兄ちゃんがいじめる。
Sorry. But first, apologize to me.
そこは譲らないんだね。とにかくこれはお兄ちゃんなの。お兄ちゃんはちょうどさっき完成したばかりだから次はクーちゃんを作らないと。
So this is the finished product. The face was fairly nondescript at this stage, but she'd probably cry if I continued to make fun of it. Better hold off for now. Despite its current, albeit sorry-looking state, Aoi was working very hard. It wouldn't be good to laugh at another person's efforts. But why are you making dolls of us?
前にクーちゃんからお兄ちゃんのお人形をもらったでしょ。これはそのお返しなの。二人がいつまでも一緒にいられますようにっていう願いを込めたね。
Aoi.
でも完成にはまだまだ時間がかかりそうだし、このことはクーちゃんには内緒だよ。
Yeah, got it. I'll keep your secret until it's finished.
じゃあ 指切りしよう。口約束だけじゃあれだしね。
Yeesh, you are not a kid.
いいじゃん。
What am I going to do with you? Here, hold out your pinky.
これで契約成立だね。
Aoi smiled sweetly as we put our fingers together and made a pinky promise.
しちゃった手で指切り。
What's wrong?
なんでもないよ。
Aoi acted flustered and pulled her hand in behind her. Her face was somewhat red. What in the world was with her? Anyway, do your best. Give me a heads up when you are finished and we can surprise Kureha together.
ああ、いいねそれ。サプライズパーティーとか開いたら面白そう。
Would you work out a quick plan then? After what, Aoi and I discussed the party until Kureha came back. If we were going to do this, we may as well invite everyone and have a drink at the tea kettle. We could put on some short skits and really get the place roaring. The conversation got lively talking about silly ideas like that. I'd hung out with Kureha constantly these days and hadn't been able to take the time to pay attention to Aoi. The loneliness Aoi felt may have led into her indulging in masturbation too. With that thought in mind, I couldn't say anything more to her. Upon Kureha's return, her and Aoi remained silent and didn't engage in anything resembling a conversation. Some time had passed, but there was likely still some lingering embarrassment between the two. Considering Aoi's personality, today's events would likely end up as just a funny story. In that sense, she was a strong girl. But that wasn't so much the case for Kureha.
なあ、ケイスケ。葵のことなんだが、あいつ、お前のことが好きなんじゃないか。
See, I knew she'd take this in a weird way. There's no way that's true. She's my sister.
だが、私たちのエッチを見ながら自分を慰めていたということは、私は自分と重ね合わせていたわけで。
Maybe so, but this and that are totally different things. I'm sure she just got turned on from watching two people having sex in front of her.
しかし、相手は実の兄だぞ。私だったら、興奮する前に冷めるか止めるかするが。
You do have a point. The very first thing that popped into my mind when I saw Aoi masturbating was, what in the world is this girl doing? I was pretty exasperated. Despite seeing Aoi all ruffled up, I wasn't turned on in the slightest. I'd gotten used to seeing Aoi's boobs when we were children and didn't feel any sexual interest in her whatsoever. That would essentially mean I didn't perceive Aoi as a member of the opposite sex.
なあ、おかしいだろ。実の兄を見て興奮したということは。
Ridiculous. There's no way that's possible.
そうは言うが、あいつは前からお前に好意を示していたじゃないか。弁当を作ってきたり、何かと甘えてきたり。私たちが付き合うと嘘をついた時だって、ものすごく取り乱していた。あれは演技ではなかったと思うぞ。
That's just, because she was lonely, that's all. You would feel oddly alienated if Sukuna-san suddenly brought a woman along with him too, wouldn't you? It's the same thing. Romance has nothing to do with it. It's a member of your family bringing someone else into the mix. She just disliked that, that's all.
そうかな。
I do. You're overcomplicating it.
まあ、お前がそう言うならそうかもな。あいつのことを一番よく知ってるのは兄であるお前だろうし。
Exactly right. With that said, please talk to Aoi tomorrow. She's worried you hate her now.
そうか。考えておく。
Kureha gave only a single nod before clinging to my arm and falling silent. Kureha and Aoi, it would be great if this didn't put some strange rift in their friendship. Still though, Aoi looking at me as a member of the opposite sex, huh?
気持ちいい気持ちいいよお兄ちゃん
Haha, it couldn't be.